The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from eXp's top-producing icon agents? If you are an ambitious eXp agent ready to skyrocket your business, this podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your eXp business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Hello guys, my name is Tomasz with the Real Estate Masters Summit. We're here with David Kurz to start off with the eXp Realty mini-series. David has 15 years of real estate industry experience. In 2015, he opened his own brokerage, which has grown massively on a global scale. David hosts the Take Action podcast and has written 2 books about real estate. David is also a coach, and his teams and his brokerage have surpassed over 500 million in sales over more than a decade. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to always be on a show like this that showcases people and tries to help the people around them. So I appreciate that.
Exactly. And I think you'll do a great job on helping anyone that is listening in today.
Awesome.
So what do you think if we launch this episode with your real estate journey?
What? Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
If we can start with your real estate journey.
Sure. So I spent 9 years in the United States Marine Corps. And after the military, when I got out, I really didn't know what to do, right? Like you're just, it's like, you've been in the military for almost a decade. What do you do now, And now I remember I got a couple jobs and I actually got a pretty good job, right? And in the meantime, my cousin, who was in mortgages at the time, told me, David, you should get your real estate license. You're very good at speaking to people. You have, you have the gift to be able to have a conversation with anybody. So I took it on and I got my license. And, eventually I got tired of the job, right? Sitting at a desk every day, doing a job and making someone else rich. And so I decided, what, this is not for me. I need to find the entrepreneurship. I need to do something different. And so I started taking advantage of my real estate license. And within 2 months of making that decision, I quit my job and I've been full-time real estate ever since. I've had the great pleasure of being at companies like Douglas Elliman and Keller Williams. And then I opened up my own brokerage in 2016, and we grew to 3 offices and 200 agents. We were dominating in South Florida. It was a great time. And then in 2019, we made the decision to close the company and all come into eXp Realty. So it's been a phenomenal ride. I've been with eXp. October will be my 2nd year, 2 years at eXp. It's been a great ride. I've seen a lot of people that have come with us really do well. And that just that's a great opportunity for me, And so I've now we have a great sales team. My partner and I run teams in Miami, Orlando, Tampa. So basically all of Florida. And we're also in Northern Virginia, and we're looking to work in Washington, DC and Maryland as well. That expansion though, however, puts me in a position of coach and educator, right? Where my partner handles most of operations. So we're in the process of launching the Kurz organization coaching systems and program. So in a couple months, you'll hear some news on the internet talking about how we just opened up a great coaching platform. So that's coming soon.
That's great. I'm looking forward to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been coaching for about 6-7 years now. Now we're just going to do it in a larger scale. It's going to have fun. We're just having fun.
Yeah, nice. I hope this episode will help on that launch.
I appreciate that.
So you joined eXp Realty in 2019, but you didn't tell us why. So why did you join?
Great question. So I, when you open a brokerage, the dream is to duplicate yourself. If you feel confident in yourself, you want to duplicate yourself or make better people than you, and create a tribe of people like that and just grow tremendously. Like imagine, I'm a top producer. Can I create 200 of myself? And so you move into a position where you focus on development coaching. You're helping agents, you're joining them at listing appointments, you're doing all this great stuff. And then one day you realize you can't do that anymore because you've grown, and you've grown fast, and you've grown quick. So now you take a step back, and you run a business. Now you're looking at spreadsheets and and hosting recruiting calls and things of that nature, and dealing with insurance. And now you're dealing with problems, right? Because you have 200 people, and one or two of those people are not doing the right thing, or maybe they are doing the perfect thing, but the person on the other side of the transaction is not doing the right thing. And so you're involved in constant firefighter mode. You're putting out fires all the time, and I started to lose my passion for it, to be quite honest with you, because my passion was always being with the agents, with my team, with my people, seeing their growth, having fun with them. And the position changed, and I think I could have, at the time, I could have done something different. I started to replace myself. So I did hire a broker. He was a great guy. And he ran the company. He started running the company as the broker, but not the operations section. So we hired a CFO, we hired a COO. We started putting things in position so that I could come back to coaching and educating my team. And what I found was that even with all of that, the ownership piece, when EXP came to talk to me, and they spoke to me for about a year, I might add, and when we sat down and did the numbers, the amount of money that I was spending on the brokerage and only being able to grow in my area, because if I move out of my area, let's say I'm in Miami, if I want to move to Tampa or Orlando, I had to open up offices there, and I had to host attraction. I had to be away from my family. I had to go do things there, right? And so that wasn't, a motivator for me. My dream was to be 10,000 agents. 1,000 agents and 10 offices throughout the state of Florida. And with EXP, I can do 1,000 agents across the world in 36 months instead of 10 years, And so that was a big identifier for me. The other identifier was everything that I just said to you. Dollar for dollar, I could earn very close to what I was earning as an owner at EXP through my residual income, and not have the expenses of everything that goes on. Also, EXP already has their CFO and their COO and their leadership team and their brokers and everything. So I don't have to do any of that stuff. I don't have to put out fires. None of that stuff is relevant to me because I am not EXP. I am a part owner of EXP as an agent owner. And so what that allows me to do is grow across the world, in Mexico and Portugal and, Colombia, and then all over the United States. We're in New Jersey, we're in Georgia, I just keep going and going. And it's so exciting to see the growth step out of where I am here in Miami and be able to connect with amazing people around the world, right? And here we are on a Zoom call, in 2 different countries talking about the same great company. That's beautiful to me, And so being able to do that, being able to host that and still earn income for the work that I put in, for the attraction piece, for, hey guys, come join our network, right? And then being able to coach as well, and being able to host meetings and being able to host events and so forth and so on. Here in November, we're doing an event in New Jersey with Tom Ferry. That's amazing. It's great stuff. It gives me the opportunity to focus on things like that.
Yeah, so I see it was just an opportunity that was offered to you, and you just couldn't reject. I
couldn't reject it.
Too much sense.
I was doing all the stuff that I was doing as a brokerage, and I was having a lot of fun. It was a great time, and and even when I started to see I lost my passion, I started to put people in place so I could get back to my passion piece. Even with all of that, just dollar for dollar, it didn't make sense. This made sense. This made sense. This made a ton of sense. And so that opportunity was there, and we took it. Very scary, but we took it, and we've had a wonderful 2 years.
Nice. Amazing. And you said you were associated also with other brokers before. didn't the other brokers offer you the same standards like EXP Realty is offering? Or?
Not at all. Not at all. So it's funny that you said that. I was with Keller Williams, who's a great company, and they're very much a training company. And I know they offer some sort of residual, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's a profit share, not a revenue share. My biggest check in 3 years with them was $60, right? That's just not, it's not a grand thing. And so it wasn't really an attraction piece to make you want to grow there, right? You grew there because you had systems and team and, and great education and great training. Well, it got to the point where I felt like, okay, I need something else. So I went to a company like Douglas Elliman, which is a wonderful luxury company. They're in New York, they're in Connecticut, they're in Los Angeles, they're in Miami. They're in the best spots of the world where you can sell $40 million houses, right? And so with them, it was wonderful. I learned a lot about presence. I learned a lot about branding. I learned a lot about luxury. And we were the number 3 team in their Coconut Grove office, and that was fantastic, right? But it was missing the training, it was missing the support, it was missing the residual. It was, so when I opened my company, I said, I'm gonna put those 2 pieces together, and I'm gonna create a well-branded company that presents itself extremely well and also trains at a very high level. And so that's what we did. But then with EXP, they add the stock, they add the residual, and they're doing everything else too, right?
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was just, again, another no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. Easy decision. And just let us know so we can be aware. Did your team that started off with you with Keller Williams, did they always accompany you while changing brokers and going into your own business and now EXP, or you had to start off?
No, I think the team that I had at Keller Williams, they followed me. And eventually when I opened up my own brokerage, I took myself out of sales and my wife became the team leader. And so, but we're talking a span of a decade. So the team has changed over the years, and it really had nothing to do with the changes. It was more to do with time and whatever, someone had something else they wanted to do, or, we've had agents that have gone off and built their own teams. So, with that in mind, just the thought process there, when that happened prior to EXP, they would oftentimes leave the brokerage and go to another brokerage and do something great over there. And now with EXP, I've had agents that have been on my team and have told me, hey, David, I think I want to go on my own now. I want to do my own thing, or I want to grow my own team. And I say, fantastic, I applaud you. But they stay with EXP because they see the benefits, they see the advantages, right? So all the work that you feel like you put into someone's growth doesn't just go away somewhere else. It stays within your network. And so that person is in my residual downline, so they can do whatever they want as long as they stay with EXP, right? And so, and I've always been the type of person to congratulate and applaud you if you want to go do something different. But now when you go do something different, we're still connected, right? We're still connected. We're still family. We're still in the tree together.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And I think we covered, if the episode ended right now, I think we covered the why quite well, David.
Yeah.
It's crystal clear. So let's now try to create some value here. As an EXP top producer, what's your biggest hurdle to growing your business?
Wow. So very honestly, the biggest hurdle is people. Sometimes, the people factor is the one piece you can't really control. We've got the systems, we've got the education, we've got the training, we've got the leads, we've got the CRM, we've got the foundation, and the dynamic is very much settled. It's finding the right people who care about team as well as themselves, right? And it's very difficult when you work in an industry where every real estate person is a business owner or self-employed person, right? And I think that's always been our biggest hurdle, is finding the right people for the right mission, because we're not a team for everybody. Every time I have a conversation with somebody, I said, look, we're not for everybody. I'm not the right coach for everybody, but if you're not going to cry every session and you feel like you're going to, you want to succeed in life, then maybe I can help you. And so, that's often been our biggest hurdle, is finding the right people for the right position. And I think that's true for any business, to be very honest.
Yeah. So that's your requirement. Don't cry in the first 2 sessions. And,
don't cry.
And you're in.
If I tell you, if we're working together and I tell you you're doing something wrong, it's not because I'm scolding you. I'm not your parent.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I want you to grow. I want you to learn from it. I want you to grow. I want you to be better. I want you to do better for yourself, for your family, for whatever it is that you're fighting for, whatever your why is. And so you got to be able to handle that with our team.
So that's your management style. And you're a coach, so that's what you're supposed to do. You're not meant to apologize.
We can't sugarcoat. We can't sugarcoat it, right?
Exactly. So how big is your team right now?
Right now, we're about 17 members, spread out through the East Coast. So we've got sprinkled in Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and Virginia. That's my sales team.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying you were hopefully to expand to other countries like India, Portugal, UK.
So
South
we
Africa.
have, and as a team, no. As a team, we want to expand into Washington, D.C. and Maryland. Mm-hmm. And I think that as a team, we're just going to focus on that area as well as the Florida market. And I don't know that as a sales team, we want to expand out of that, right? Then it becomes too much. It becomes too far apart. But as a network, as an EXP network, mm-hmm. and growing with the people that have decided to sign into EXP and put my name as their sponsor, or someone in my downline as their sponsor, I feel a responsibility and to kind of help them in their success, right? And so with that, we now open the door to opening up and moving into so many other countries. So yes, I want to have 100 people in Mexico. I want to have 100 people in Spain and Portugal, and I want to see that expansion, and I want to be able to be a large part of their success. I want to be able to be indisposable to them and be able to provide them with enough motivation and success and education so that they can be so great at what they do every day.
Yeah, and that must be so fun to connect with people from different cultures, different languages.
It's so great. It's so great. I mean, look, it's fun to have meetings on Zoom and have people from Panama and have people from Mexico and have people from Colombia and have people from Puerto Rico and have it's exciting. It's fun. And you're having these conversations and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, like this is at arm's length. We're growing in multiple countries. That's so much fun.
Nice. So if you could go back to the start of your career, and knowing what you know now, what will change?
So I get asked this question often. And the one thing I will say is that when I started this career, I didn't have a good mentor, and I didn't have a great company to guide me, and I didn't have somebody to say, hey, Dave, look, this is what you need to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that if I could turn back time, I really would have done my research. I really would have signed up with the right person. I really would have pulled away as much information as I could from that person. I would have gotten them coffee. I would have washed their car. I would have, as long as they were strong producers and great coaches and they were teaching me something, I would have done whatever it is. I would have picked up their laundry. It doesn't matter. Because at that point, I think if I could start this career all over again, I would have at least spent a minimum of 12 months under somebody's wing, just learning. If I could have done it over, that's what I would have done.
Yes. And I can only imagine that's what you tell your students, right?
All the time. Mentorship is so important. So important. This is, too many people have this idea that they just go into the business and they just do it. And if they mess up, it's okay. They'll learn from it. But why? Why? When you've got all these great people out here, there's so many wonderful coaches and producers and, people that are just, when you're a top producer and you're a coach at the same time, you just feel like you want to give. You want to be a servant leader. You want to give to people. And all people need to do is ask. And most people are afraid to ask.
Yeah. But yeah, I can imagine your coaching being very assertive. So the audience knows. I asked David what he wanted to talk about today, and he just said, "Fuck failure, taking action." You can use the swear words. We'll do a little beep every time we say something nasty.
So I'm in the process of writing my third book now, and the name of the book is Fuck Failure. And the reason I'm writing this book is because I want to write something that helps people understand the difference between failure and having a hiccup in their career or their life. And I think that a lot of people, the word failure is so overused, and I talk to so many coaches, and coaches defend the phrase fail forward. So I ask them, how can you, I said, I asked many coaches, do you believe that what the words that you put out are projected and the words that you put out become truth in your life? And all the coaches will say, yes, of course, the secret, right? The secret, believe it and it will exist. And I go, so why do we keep using a negative word in a negative connotation? Why not change it? Why not choose something else, right? And so, and then the next question I often ask is, if my entire business crumbles tomorrow because of something that happened, and I pick myself up and I rebuild that business successfully, did I truly fail? No, because failure would be business crumbles, I crawl into a corner, I cry about it, stay depressed for the rest of my life, I die. That's a failure. But if you get back up from the ground and you say, no, I'm going to build this back up, rock by rock, brick by brick, then you didn't truly fail. You had a situation which we call a hiccup. You had a hiccup happen in your career, and you rebuilt the entire thing based on what you've learned in the process of that hiccup. And so that's why the book is very much honed in and focused on removing the word failure from your life, and truly understanding the difference. Is there such thing as failure? 100%, yes. Right? But it doesn't always have to be that you have to fail in order to move forward.
Mm-hmm. And I really like that affirmative action philosophy. And I'll make sure I'll grab a copy of your book to get that magic into me.
I appreciate that.
David, and I also saw that you have a big passion for marketing. I guess just need to look at your Instagram. You have a big network there, and your podcast, impressive work. By the way, great intro rap you have there. I don't know how you managed to pull that off. I don't know who is that rapper. It was like,
oh man, so he's local in Florida, and we just had our 200th podcast, and my daughter, she knows this person, and she gifted it to me. She asked him if he would do this intro and gift it to me, and it's awesome. I mean, everybody comments on it. It's been great. And I told her, I go, that's not just for 200. That's my new intro for every podcast moving forward.
Man, it's really good. I was like, it's starting to, the beat started, and I was like, what? Am I playing the radio, the radio or on Spotify? Like, what is happening? And then it starts rapping about you and your sales team, and Nas being your favorite rapper and all. And it's so funny.
Yeah,
so
man.
Funny.
I honestly, that's probably one of the coolest gifts I've ever received.
It is, and even by you liking Nas, like I'm also a big fan of
nice
Mr. Nazir there, and I can just imagine your philosophy going through his lyrics. The world is yours, affirmative action, street dreams, so I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yes, now you know me. That's it. We can end it now. Guys,
Exactly.
listen to the whole album. You'll know what that is.
Yeah. Listen to the whole albums. There's a lot to go.
Yep, that is true.
So, you have doubled your marketing efforts. I read it in your website, in your face techniques. Can you explain what does this mean?
So kind of what we were discussing earlier, so right now we're in the process of creating a new coaching program that we're probably going to launch in about 60 days. The program is a 6-month program, and it's called the SOP, which stands for Standard Operating Procedure, right? And so we felt it was important to give somebody, many people are in this business and they're just doing the business, but they don't have a procedure that they run through on a normal basis in order to grow the business. And what happens is, as the business grows, and it just happens naturally because you're producing and people want to be around producers, you'll have too many hiccups in the process of growth because you're building a house of cards on sand. And so the SOP is designed to give people a operating procedure that they can build a concrete foundation and start building whatever type of business they want on it so that it's massively successful moving forward. And these techniques are very much in your face. This is no beating around the bush. This is telling you how it is. This is telling you when you're messing up or when you're winning. This is patting you on the back and also telling you you don't deserve a pat on the back. This is that opportunity to be able to be right up front, face to face with you and say, yes, this is working great, keep doing it, or no, this is garbage, why are you doing it? And being able to have people go, okay, let's change it. And that's my method, that's my technique, that's my aggressive, I guess, nature from the Marine Corps, and I don't want to be the kind of coach that sugarcoats and says, don't worry, we tried. No, we're going to say, hey, you didn't stick to the plan. Let's get in your face and we're going to push forward.
Nice. That's a New York state of mind, right?
It is. It really is. I was born and raised in New York City, man, you know?
So we can finish this off also with a little Nas reference. So if you would rule the world, and I guess
I rule the world. Let's go.
I mean, you're not married to Lauryn Hill, but let's just imagine. What would be the advice you could impart with our audience?
So, assuming that our audience is mostly going to be real estate professionals or business professionals or people just looking to grow a business, often there's so many pieces of advice, right? But the biggest piece of advice that I often give people is that mentorship piece. Find mentorship. If you want to sell lollipops, find the person who sells the best lollipops for the best price and sells a lot of them, right? Or find the person who sells a lot of lollipops, because they might not be the best lollipops, but damn, do they know how to sell lollipops, right? And mentor under that person for a little while. Look, in my second book, Take Action, I wrote the phrase, I go, it doesn't matter if you're selling lollipops, bicycles, or real estate, it's all the same shit, right? You have to create a business, build a foundation, put in the work, grow upon it, replace yourself. This is like the beautiful circle of business, right? And so, there was a time where Elon Musk used to work the line and put cars together. There was a time where Elon Musk slept in his office because he was like days away from complete failure. There were times that Elon Musk had to be on the line. And now I promise you, Elon Musk is not on the line anymore, right? And so and I don't know that Elon Musk is in the position to replace himself anytime soon because he's the brain, right? But the idea in almost any business, you can grow it to a point where you hire somebody and mentor them to be you. And then you could take a little bit of a step back. You don't have to be in the minutia of the everyday. And that's the goal. It should be the goal for any business person. Any business person growing a business, find mentorship so that you have less hiccups in your career. So you have less faults. So you have less falls. So you have less, and instead of saying, fail forward, think fall forward. So, and go and sit with somebody and say, hey, listen, I know you sell lollipops. I want to sell lollipops. Or I know you sell real estate. I want to sell real estate, right? And I hear that you're the best in town. So can I just sit here every day? Can I just come into the office? Whatever you need, let me know. If you need me to do some research for you, I'll do the research, because you're going to learn, right? If you need me to carry your briefcase to a listing appointment, let me know. And why? Because you want to be in that room. You want to listen to that listing appointment. You know, if you want me to drive you anywhere, let me know, because the more you drive that person, the more you will learn the environment, you will learn the space, you will learn the area, and you'll be able to do it. Do you want me to work the camera for you while you create a video, so you could learn how to work the equipment, so you can learn how to do you want me to edit the video for you so I can put it up on social media? You know, so you can learn that piece of it too, and you could see what this mentor is saying, what they're doing, why they're promoting themselves, what kind of videos they're putting out, and take notes and mentor. And then after you mentor, begin a business and begin to grow it, and get yourself a good coach. Get yourself a good coach. Don't ever stop learning, ever.
That's it.
And read books. Read books.
Read books. The necessary effort to find that mentor, like it's the mission of your life, you know.
It really is, you know, and I think too few people think that way, and it's unfortunate. You know, like I told you earlier, if I could turn back time, I would find a mentor, and by now I'd probably be on my 10th book and traveling worldwide talking about my writing, you know, but I'm not, because I didn't find a mentor, because I did it on my own, and because I had to smash my face against too many brick walls to get to where I am today, you know?
Nice. And I guess to conclude, fuck failure, taking action.
That's right, 100%. If you take action, and you think in your mind, fuck failure, you can't fail. You can't. You're going to win. You're going to win. You know, if you plan something and you take action on it and it doesn't work, that's called a hiccup. You go back to the plan, you revise it, you take action again. That's it. That's all. And you keep running forward with it. You know, these kids right now, they're 18, 19 years old, right? And Tomas, they're 18, 19 years old, and they're getting the real estate license. They think they're badasses now because they know how to post things on social media. You know, and that's not this business. There's a lot more to this real estate business. So if you're 18, 19 years old, shit, don't take a year. Take the next 2 or 3 years and mentor under somebody. Take year 1, do it for free. Year 2, ask for a little bit of money on things that you do, maybe 10%. 10%. Can I get 10%? I'll go open the doors for you, right? And then year 2, maybe you say, hey, I'll work for a 25% referral. And then year 3, you say, hey, listen, or year 4, you say, hey, listen, I want to be a part of the team. Like, you know, put me in that 50% percentile, right? And then maybe year 5, you go out on your own and you figure it out, depending on what it is, what your goals are in life, you know? But think about this for a second, Tomas. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You're 23 years old with 5 years of massive experience under a great mentor and a top leading team. And now you got the rest of your life ahead of you.
Yeah.
Right? By the time you're 30 or 35, you're more than likely going to have one of the top producing teams in the country. And you're going to do it so well because you have what you have plus what you've learned.
That's the right path. And thank you, David, for bringing that approach on the right path and finding a mentor. And
100%.
Just let us know, how can our audience reach you? Because I can only imagine how many 18 and 19-year-olds that want to call you right now.
So listen, the best thing to do is reach me on Instagram at David Adam Kurz. It's all together, David Adam Kurz. My first, middle, and last name. It's the same as my website, davidadamkurz.com. But the best place to reach me is follow me on Instagram, shoot me a DM. I answer all of my DMs personally. I manage my own social media. That's my baby. So whatever you guys need, you know, if you want a tip, if you want a pro tip, if you want to connect with me, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I love coffee. Let's go. You know, and listen, if you motivate me enough, I'll end up paying for the coffee. So let's go.
Hell yeah. Thank you, David. And the world is yours. Thank you for coming. And
thank you, Tomas, for having me on this.
And yeah, it was great. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Take care.